Hey guys, it's Lindsay. So here's my persuasive speech. um, since the Prohibition days in the 1920s and 30s, the United States has been divided on the issue of legal drinking ages and what is an acceptable minimum legal drinking age for adults. For almost 100 years, there have been repeals to laws, arguments, debates, and research conducted to answer the question, should the legal drinking age in the United States be lowered to 18? Based on research that I have discovered, I have reached the conclusion that the minimum legal drinking age should be lowered to 18, and I hope to persuade you to reach this conclusion as well. So on December 5th, 1933, the 21st Amendment repealed prohibition in the United States. This allowed each state to come up with its own laws regarding minimum legal drinking ages. Most states set a minimum legal drinking age of 21 to coincide with the legal voting age. But on July 1st, 1971, the 26th Amendment passed, lowering the legal drinking age from 21 to 18 to match the new voting age of 18. After this, many states changed their minimum legal drinking age to 18, 19, or 20. However, in 1984, the National Minimum Legal Drinking Age Act passed, and that encouraged states to raise the legal drinking age to 21 or face losing millions in federal highway funds. By 1988, all 50 states raised their minimum legal drinking age to 21. So, a lot of people wonder why the federal government and states were so wishy washy about the minimum legal drinking age in the 1970s and 80s. But Republicans ruled Capitol Hill during this time, like Nixon, Ford, and Reagan. Republicans typically have conservative views, so when Generation X college students and teenagers are out partying, doing drugs, being promiscuous, this led Republican leaders to view things as a sign of rebellion, and the source of this rebellion was blamed on alcohol. When leaders painted this negative picture of alcohol, it made their kids want to drink more and party more because they were told not to do so. While it does seem a bit extreme, there was good reason behind the minimum legal drinking age being 21 at that time. Teenagers were, or still are, more likely to get drunk quicker than adults and are more likely to binge drink. When teenagers party, get drunk, and then they decide it's a good idea to get behind the wheel of a car and drive, the real issue starts to take light. Teen drinking causes 4,700 deaths every year. While this sounds bad, like a lot of people still think that the minimum legal drinking age should stay the same at 21. But there is another side to this. Most countries, especially in Europe, have lower drinking ages of 16, 17, 18, and 19. Plus, studies have found that the lower minimum legal drinking ages in European countries have caused teenagers to be more responsible, and this allows them to view drinking as casual and not rebellious. This has led to less negative consequences as a result of lower minimum legal drinking ages. What a lot of people forget about is the amount of drunk driving fatalities among those who are allowed to drink. From 1982 to 2007, we can see that while the minimum legal drinking age of 21 did reduce teenage drinking and driving fatalities, it did still not stop those who were of age from drinking and getting behind the wheel. There's been a lot of focus to put an end to teen drinking, um, and that maybe sometimes clouds people's judgment, and they actually forget about the 21 to 24-year-olds who have a higher fatality rate than teenagers do in alcohol-related deaths. So in July 2008, a group of presidents from 129 colleges and universities across the country got together and asked the government to reconsider lowering the minimum legal drinking age to 18. Some colleges and universities involved included Middlebury College, Ripon College, Ohio State University, and Duke University. In August 2008, a statement was drawn up, and the group named this request the Amethyst Initiative. The Amethyst Initiative was started by former Middlebury College president John McCardle. The Amethyst Initiative claims that the minimum legal drinking age of 21 put in place in 1984 isn't working. When students arrive on college campuses, they're surrounded by other students who can and can't drink. Freshmen are like, they get stuck in this kind of weird limbo because they are 18, they're adults, they can vote, they can serve in the military, and they aren't under their parents' supervision anymore, and they can pretty much do just about anything that they want except legally drink. So this like pushes them to drink at parties, and because they don't have access to alcohol whenever they want, they resort to binge drinking at these parties, like consuming as much alcohol as they can, and this can lead to like serious negative consequences if they're not careful and they don't know their limit. The Amethyst Initiative argues that changing the minimum legal drinking age wouldn't lead to more drinking, but safer drinking. David Joyce of Ripon College claims that it's ludicrous that we send young men and women to war, but they can't legally drink a beer. No matter what, college students and teenagers everywhere will drink, legally or not. Like, there's no stopping the inevitable. So, I remember how I personally felt when I was underage. I would go to parties with my friends and feel like I was still the kid stuck in high school, and I wasn't gonna feel like that unless I had something to drink. So, like, even when I would go to ale house with my friends who were older, I felt socially isolated whenever the bouncer would come up to me and put X's on my hand after he checked my ID. Um, I turned 21 back in November, and since then, I finally felt like I'm an adult when I haven't ever really felt like that since I turned 18. I personally think it's ridiculous to define someone's adulthood based on a beverage and not their ability to make decisions, vote, or be an active military member. There needs to be greater measures taken to encourage teenagers and college students to drink safer. And the first step is lowering the minimum legal drinking age from 21 to 18. Thank you.